At this point, gosh. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jacob Brothers, and this is your CXP Esports Update. After 24 hard-fought weeks, the Overwatch League playoffs are just about set. In order of seeding, the Fuel, Shock, Gladiators, Outlaws, Reign, Spitfire, Mayhem, and Defiant will be representing the West, while the Dynasty, Dragons, Fusion, and Spark represent the East. Thanks to being top seeds, the Fuel, Dynasty, Shock, and Gladiators have already moved on to Winners Round 2, where they'll be able to pick their opponent after the first wave of matches. It feels like for the first time, the playoffs will actually be competitive. The story of the East is that the Dragons and Dynasty take turns being the best team and beating each other. At this point, the Dynasty appear to have the upper hand as they dominantly won almost all of their matches and lost only to the Spark this stage. Dragons, on the other hand, have lost to the Charge as well as the Dynasty. The top two ranked Western teams, Shock and Fuel, have been inconsistent. For this entire stage, the Fuel played and defeated only middle to lower tier teams. When they played a top-ranking team, the Outlaws, they got demolished during their own homestand. The Shock, a team who should kill their opponents, came out of the Countdown Cup 3-3. Out of the wins, they beat the low-hanging fruit of the Eternal Spitfire and Reign, but the Spitfire and Reign took them to a Game 5. Beyond that, the Shock lost to the Justice, Defiant, and Outlaws. The wins came after the losses, so maybe they can take that momentum into the playoffs. The Gladiators are one of the favorites to win the whole thing after winning both the Mid-Season Madness and Kickoff Clash tournaments. Besides that fact, they were also undefeated this stage. The only spin zone for opposing teams is that every team the Gladiators beat this stage were either middle of the pack or low-hanging fruit. With all of that said, playoffs are a clean slate for all teams as the playoffs will be on a new patch. In Overwatch, the team who adjusts to the meta the best wins. Call it a strength or weakness of the league, but that's how it goes. The newest hero, Kiriko, will finally be seen in playoffs, shaking up team compositions immediately. We'll be meeting again before the Grand Finals, but here are my predictions for the winners bracket rounds. In Winners Round 1, the Fusion beats the Spitfire, the Dragons beat the Spark, the Reign beat the Mayhem, and the Outlaws beat the Defiant. In Winners Round 2, Dallas picks the Reign and wins, the Shock picks the Fusion and wins, the Gladiators pick the Outlaws and win, and the Dynasty plays the Dragons and loses. In Winners Round 3, the Fuel beats the Dragons and the Gladiators beat the Shock. The next time we record, we'll see if the Fuel and Gladiators are the remaining teams in Winners Round 4. Playoffs begin on October 30th in LA and run through November 4th. The championship team takes home the coolest trophy in esports as well as $1 million. Be sure to catch the action in person or on the Overwatch League YouTube channel. Calling back to another story from last week, we now know the Halo World Champion. The World Championships took place from October 20th through the 23rd, and in the end, Optic Gaming was crowned the champions. Not only did Optic win, they dominated from start to finish. Counting group stage matches, they only dropped 5 maps in the entire tournament. Once they reached the bracket, Optic swept Gamers first, swept Sentinels, swept Native Red, lost to Cloud9 to force the Grand Finals reset, and then swept Cloud9 in the reset. Cloud9 themselves had a perilous journey as they got dropped in the first round by Native Red. After being dropped to the losers bracket, they had a run of their own, having only dropped 2 maps as they made their way to the finals. In the Grand Finals itself, it appeared that Cloud9 had all of the momentum. They reset the finals with a scoreline of 4-1. All they had to do was keep up the pressure, but Optic decided to flip the switch to prove that not even Cloud9 was on their level. Besides the finalists, the teams placing 3rd through 5th were Native Red, FaZe Clan, and Sentinels. Speaking of FaZe Clan, the roster is already seeing changes as Snipedown announced his retirement from Halo on Tuesday. Snipedown was a legend for over a decade. He's made almost $1.5 million in his 14-year career. He won MLG Halo 3 tournaments with straight ripping, and he's had a presence in Halo Reach, Halo 4, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 5, and now Halo Infinite, the game that he left Apex Legends to return to. Snipedown played for FaZe, and in September he was loaned to E United. During his time with E United, they were always top 10, but never top 5. In the World Championship, E United placed 8th. Fans are slightly certain that Snipedown will be returning to Apex Legends either with his own squad or with FaZe Clan. The X Games might become even more hardcore with the addition of esports. On Wednesday, the MSP Sport Capital announced their acquisition of majority ownership of the X Games from ESPN. In that announcement, MSP revealed that they're bringing aboard CEO Steven Flissler, who used to be the vice president of original content for Twitch. Steven was the executive producer of ongoing tournament series Twitch Rivals, and he has come out to say that while plans can't be shared yet, the company is, quote, excited to integrate competitive gaming into the X Games and especially at our live events, end quote. This move also involves the X Games being watchable on Twitch and YouTube. We don't know what esports will be present at the X Games yet, but this could not be more awesome. MSP, I happen to be the best Disney Extreme skateboard player on the planet, and I'm only a phone call away. Riot Games could be trendsetters once again as they're about to launch the alpha version of their new Path to Pro competitive game mode called Premier. The mode allows players to create a team of 5 to compete against other teams in divisions. You can even make your own team name and logo. These divisions will have their own seasons and teams will participate in weekly matches as well as tournaments. The teams who do the best after a few weeks can qualify to win the division championship. This mode will feature the full competitive experience with a pick and ban system for maps and all things of that nature. In a press release, Riot stated that the alpha will only have about 60% of the planned features and the alpha will only be available to players in Brazil. If this game mode works the way it's designed, this could change the face of esports. Players being able to have an automatically run esports league that can move teams along the path to pro is a feature that other games would not be able to ignore. Time will really tell if it'll work, but I hope that it does. Last but not least, it is Call of Duty release week. It's that wonderful time of the year where we buy the game that is definitely not identical to Modern Warfare 2019. As tradition for a new COD release, various platforms are holding launch tournaments and we wanted you to know about a few of them. CheckPoint Gaming is giving away at least $28,000 across a bunch of different search and destroy tournaments. The tournaments feature matchups of all roster sizes. Game Battles is also holding 4v4 tournaments that span across a $15,000 prize pool. Lastly, the Florida Mutineers are holding a $25,000 search and destroy tournament. If you're looking to take launch week seriously, check them out. In COD League news, we now know the full schedule of play. We'll show you all the dates right now, but as far as major lands go, the league hosted Major 1 is happening December 15th through 18th, the Boston Breach Major 2 takes place February 2nd through 5th, the Optic Texas Major 3 will be happening March 9th through 12th, the New York Subliners Major 4 will happen April 13th through 16th, and finally Toronto Ultras Major 5 will take place May 25th through 28th. Santa's on the way because starting in December, we have Call of Duty goodness every single month. And that was your CXP Esports Update. For more, check out our stuff at cxp.gg. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be seeing you very soon.